So, for people who don't know, this is Mr. John Legend. He had some good tunes back in the day. All of me. Oh, all that stuff. All of you. Yeah, it's a good tune. And I will admit, I did listen to it a good few times. But something happened around, I think it was around 2017 or 2018, when this guy and his wife, Chrissy Teigen is her name. I don't know, she looks like half Filipino, half whatever else, but anyway, he's married to her, and the two of them are giving an interview, and I think it was TMZ, and the guy from TMZ asked, what's the most unusual place he's made love, right? Which is like, it's not a normal question that's given to celebrities, is it really? Like, what's the most unusual place you've made love? Like, in fairness, they said made love and didn't say shag or anything like that. But Chrissy Teigen goes, maybe the Obama thing, right? Maybe the Obama thing. And the two presenters like, what? And John Legend's like nudging her, saying, shut up. Go and check that out. It's still out there. Google it, you'll find it. But all of a sudden, John Legend feels compelled now to come out and talk about the Haitians and the cats and the animals and all this stuff. So let's have a listen to what Mr. John Legend says.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Legend, and I was born as John R. Stevens from a place called Springfield, Ohio. Oh, Springfield, Ohio. You may have heard of Springfield, Ohio.
Snap, I didn't even know he was from Springfield, but there you go. There's something new every day, don't you? Maybe, see, people will say, that's why he feels compelled to come out and defend it, because it's where he's from. So he's pride in where he comes from. Let's just go with that, but let's continue.
Week. In fact, if you watch the debate, we were discussed by our presidential candidates, including a very special, interesting man named Donald J. Trump. Now, Springfield has had a large influx of Haitian immigrants who have come to our city.
So now he admits that he said it, they're his own words. Maybe he's not thinking before he says it. He said, we've had a large amount of Haitians arrive in Springfield, okay?
Now, our city had been shrinking for decades. We didn't have enough jobs. We didn't have enough opportunity. So people left and went somewhere else. So when I was there, we had upwards of 75,000 people. And in the last 5 years, we were down to like 60,000 people. But of late, during the Biden administration, there have been more jobs that opened up, more manufacturing jobs, more plants, factories that needed employees and were ready to hire people. So we had a lot of job opportunities, and we didn't have enough people in our town of 60,000 people to fill those jobs. And during the same time, there had been upheaval and turmoil in Haiti, and the federal government granted visas and immigration status to a certain number of Haitian immigrants so they could come to our country legally. And our demand in Springfield for additional labor met up with the supply of additional Haitian immigrants. And here we are.
Right. So, John, it's very easy for people to look up for themselves. Like, go look at the people that are from Springfield, Ohio, making videos. Just go look at them, people. Do you know what I mean? He's saying that basically the labor went down, right? In this area in Springfield, Ohio, that the numbers of labor went down. The number of people employed in jobs basically went down. So, under the Biden administration, because of what happened in Haiti. Now, what happened in Haiti is another story. It's a completely, you could do a whole video on what happened in Haiti, and I could go off on one, but I'm not going to focus on Mr. Legend here because he felt compelled to come out and make this video. So I feel compelled to come out and make my own video on this. Now, remember about 5-6 years ago when they said it wasn't so much an employment problem, it was a birth rate problem. Do you remember? And we had all the powers that be, all the elites were saying we need to bring in more immigrants so we could bring the population of said country back up. I mean, that should have been the first red flag for people, shouldn't it? Like, why not encourage the people that are already there to have more babies and all? Because it's a plan. It's a plan, people. It's all choreographed. Basically, putting it forward like, we're not going to be able to keep our own numbers up, so we're going to import more numbers. But people just thought, okay, yeah, fair enough, go ahead. Like, the majority of them must have, because they're still the people that are these are the same people that are ignoring us when we're telling them that there's mass migration into the Western world. And I'm thinking to myself, do they still, in the back of their head, think that these people are good and they're going to be brought in to up our population? And he's saying in Springfield they were brought in to increase employment. To fill the gap that when 15,000 people left Springfield, that these Haitians were brought in to fill those positions. Go look at the videos, they're everywhere. None of these Haitians are working. Might be a few of them, but it's a good majority of them are just sitting around on the streets, you know, catching people's cats and swans, going into the parks and catching ducks. Now, over here in Ireland, in Dublin, I've seen them in my local park. It's not Haitians, but the Roma gypsies. I caught one of them in Elwood, and she was hunting ducks. She's bringing a cage around and placing it in the thing. And I seen her now. I was like, get that fucking thing out of here now. Get a big basket ready to catch ducks, people. Like, this is not us. This is not the way people in Ireland. Like, we've been known to eat duck, like, from a restaurant and stuff like that. But we don't hunt ducks in our local park. Like, when you go to a restaurant, they're not ducks from Phoenix Park that are being served. Do you know what I mean? They're wild ducks. You know? Where's all the people? Where's the WWF? With all of this? Why are they staying silent on all of this? You know? These are the questions that we need to ask. It's like, as well, you can liken it to when all the attacks on females, like the grapes and the harassment. Where's the feminists? Where's the outrage from the feminists about all these women being attacked and everything? Do you know? I do. It's just the way the things are going in the world at the moment are just backward, inverted. Everything's like inverted. Bad is good and good is bad. Do you know? But let's continue here. Have a listen to Mr. Legend. All of me.
We had about 15,000 or so immigrants move to my town of 60,000. Now, you might say, wow, that's a lot of people.
Well, I would say, yeah, it is a lot of people, but it just happens to be the exact amount that left.
For a town that only had 60,000 before, that's a 25% increase. That is correct. So you might imagine there are some challenges with, integrating a new population, new language, new culture, new dietary preferences, all kinds.
God, the way they just feed that, look, the way he's just feeding all that stuff out. As if the person he's talking to, us, that we should feel compelled to do something about this. When it's not the American public's problem, John Legend. It's the American government. Do you get me?
Kinds of reasons why there might be growing pains making sure there are enough services to accommodate the new larger population that might need bilingual service providers, et cetera, et cetera. So there are plenty of reasons why this might be a challenge for my hometown. But the bottom line is these people came to Springfield because there were jobs for them and they were willing to work. And
He's lying. He's lying again. The man is just out and out lying. He's saying that they're going there to work, right? To fill that gap, that employment number gap. He's saying they're going there to do that. When, if you watch the videos of people in Springfield, right? The Americans in Springfield, black or white, doesn't matter. You can't use the race card here because it's black and white people saying this. Black and white American people saying this. That these people, these Haitians that are coming over, have like $500 on their food stamps and then still have backup on that card. Like, it's what some woman said, they call it the magic card. That's what they call it, because it just keeps giving and giving and giving. It's like an endless supply for them. So this guy's lying through his teeth when he's saying that.
they wanted to live the American dream, just like your German ancestors, your Irish ancestors, your Italian ancestors, your Jewish ancestors, your Jamaican ancestors, your Polish ancestors, all these ancestors who have moved to this country, maybe not speaking the language that everyone else spoke, maybe not eating the same foods, maybe having to adjust, maybe having to integrate, but all coming because they saw opportunity for themselves and their families in the American dream, and they came here to do that. Some facts about immigrants. They usually do very well here. They are hardworking, they're ambitious, they commit less crime than native-born Americans.
Wow. Wow, what a statement. You see, and they're particular statements, you know, saying about how they do very well, they get employed, they're not related to crime. What a fucking statement to make, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if you go through and look at the figures and it happens to be that for such a small population that have come in compared to the American people that these commit more crime. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. But see, John and the elites are getting ahead of that. And they're planting the seeds in the NPC's mind, saying it's not the immigrants committing crime. Or if they do commit crime, it's not as much as actual Americans commit crime. They use that here in Ireland as well. It's the same script. It's the same script.
And they will assimilate and integrate in time, but it takes time. So I think all of us need to.
Wow, right. There's a big one. So they will integrate. It just takes time. Okay. How many young girls and young boys are we going to have to sacrifice in order? You know, do we just keep turning a blind eye to all these attacks that are happening? You know, do we keep turning a blind eye? Like, how many cats need to die before people go, actually, there's something off with these people that they're bringing in, because they're just sending the worst of the worst, you know. And he's talking about that they will assimilate. No, they won't. They all stay in their own little communities. They're all creating these little slums wherever they go. So every word this man is saying is a lie.
Have the same kind of grace that we would want our ancestors to have when they moved here, with our Haitian brothers and sisters who move here too. And nobody's eating cats.
Yes, they are eating cats, John. The videos are out there, you tool. I think what opened my eyes more over the last few years was knowing that the celebrities actually work hand in hand with governments and media. Is if you get that into your head, that there's a reason why certain people like John Legend make hundreds of millions and millions. You might turn around and go, oh, it's because he's talented, all of me, all that stuff. You might say, oh, it's because he's talented and he can write a good song, blah blah blah. No, it's not. It's not. It's eyes wide shut, people. It's eyes wide shut. These are when I said at the start of this about him and his wife uh, making love in like, where was the weirdest place you made love? And Chrissy Teigen turns around and goes, maybe the Obama thing. Like, is that not, like, come on. So she's saying that they've made love in the presence of Obama or near Obama or something to do with Obama. They're all the bourgeoisie. They're all the bourgeoisie. And they feel entitled that they can tell you how to live and the way the world works, when it's the opposite of what they're saying. It's literally the opposite of what these celebs tell you, right? So start treating the celebrities like you would treat MSN. When they tell you something, think the opposite, because more than likely the opposite is true.
Nobody's eating dogs.
The dogs, well, he can say nobody's eating dogs, but we know that the Chinese boil dogs alive to release adrenochrome into the system. Makes the meat taste nicer or something like that. You see them boiling dogs. They say, it's to boil the hair off them, but it's to release the adrenaline into the meat. Imagine like a fucking boiling a dog alive. I know you might say, well, that's because there's nearly 2 billion of them, and it's hard. Like, it's hard on the country, so they eat whatever they can. But he's saying nobody's doing that anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I know for a fact it's true. I haven't seen any Haitians in America eating dogs yet, but I'm sure I will, because I've seen them holding a baby kitten, for instance, and biting a big chunk out of his esophagus and drinking the blood out of the cat while the cat's alive. Do you know what I mean? So I've seen other ones bleeding, strangling them, taking their anger out on little kittens. Do you know? What, do we just have to bide our time and hope that they eventually do assimilate? No, just stop it now. Close the bleeding border.
We all just want to live and flourish and raise our families in a healthy and safe environment. How about we love one another? I grew up in the Christian tradition. We said to love our neighbor as we love ourselves and treat strangers as though they might be Christ. So, how about we adopt that ethos when we talk about immigrants moving to our communities, and don't spread hateful, xenophobic, racist lies about them.
Yeah. Sorry, I just can't trust anyone that's been to Epstein Island, John Legend. So, make it this what you will, people. I think he's a wrong'un. And I wouldn't take any advice off any celebrity.